Episode 37 of the Utility Players podcast. We got myself, Ben, Gravy. Fort's taking care of some personal family biz, so he has the episode off. Red Zone calls it witching hour. We are in witching week, witching month of sports. Basically, every sport is being played this week officially. Welcome to episode 37, boys.
Yo.
Welcome. Hey, speaking of, there is a witching hour with babies too, by the way. So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it basically means they get fussy and they cry the entire time.
You know all about that.
Scott Hansen does.
The witching hour is like from the time, like nighttime, from like 5 to 8. You know,
oh, yeah, prime time.
Yeah, Scott Hansen does. The witching hour is when wins become losses and losses become wins.
There you go. You watched a few Red Zones in your day.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Scott Hansen for calling Robert Woods Bobby Trees this weekend as well.
Bobby Trees. I just can't ever wait. That's the dude with the ears, right?
No, that's the other guy.
That's Andrew Siciliano.
That's the DirecTV guy.
Yeah.
Right? Look, is he still around?
Yeah, he is.
I think so.
Okay.
He does it for DirecTV users, and then Scott Hansen's everybody else.
That guy, those ears, like, granted, he's made, he's doing good, but those things are just huge.
He's also 4'7".
Good, but
is he really?
Yeah, he's short as hell.
Oh my God, dude! I can't. What would you guys do? Like, hey, no, what would you do if you had those ears?
Yeah, you have to have long hair. That's the secret.
Yeah,
it's like when you have a big nose, you can't have short hair. You have to because something is dominate on your head or face. You need to put other things around it. So having a beard, having longer hair, not long hair like mine, but longer because you need to distract people from the fact that, you got a lot going on here.
I'd probably wear this hat every single day.
That's what I mean. Definitely a hat wearer. Hopefully you live in cold weather. So like 6-7 months of the year, you get to wear a skull cap.
Mad respect to the guy. And I'm knowing this world, I'm sure he got made fun of growing up as a kid, but look at him now. He's probably like, fuck all you to the haters.
For sure. So talk about that trophy and champagne and vibe you got going on behind the grave. If you're watching us on YouTube,
not gonna lie, it was a shitty year. All right, a lot of turnover on the roster, a lot of emotional people. But
usually the fact.
Yeah,
this is the fall season, end of the year for us people in Iowa, us softball players. We don't play until April. Yeah. We don't play until April, end of April. So it was good to end the year with a trophy, first place trophy. The team we played was 12-0. We were 10-2, and we played doubleheaders here. So we swept the doubleheader. Obviously, head to head, we win the tiebreaker. We are champs. So awesome way to end it.
Nice.
Yeah. Shout out Apex. It's fitting that I did not play on the team this fall. Thought it's going to take the fall off and attend to more baby stuff. And what do you know? They make it to the championship. Every Apex team I've been on has been, hey, I'm not going to lie, middle of the pack or down towards the bottom. So I don't know if that says anything about me and my playing style.
No.
Common denominator.
Like I was really bringing that team down. But I went out there, last night to support Nick and the team and see some of the guys. And, to me, it just like, spring can't get here soon enough. I'm in the garage all winter. I'm just gonna be practicing my swing.
That's why I can never go to a game and not be playing.
Yeah, keep the ball down. And it was sweet.
You could keep it simple with like a nice little T-ball set, and then you could keep the T-ball set obviously for your daughter, and then just get a net and you could just do it on your own.
There you go.
It's a good idea.
That's the way to do it. Hit up the batting cages this fall.
Oh yeah.
Winter. Yeah.
Straight out the Recplex.
So like last week, how we led off with the most trending topic kind of going on this week, and especially today as it evolved, was the Ben Simmons. I think last week when we recorded episode 36, he had either just reported or he just hadn't reported to camp, and then he did a few days later. He reported to camp, sweatpants on, phone in his pocket, kind of like what we would do if we were just shooting hoops in our backyard, basically vibe, and didn't look like he sweated the whole 2-hour practice. So we'll kind of go into, what we think of Ben Simmons, what we think of athletes of in his position that play the victim card and kind of where he will go next. What's his next team? Because based on what we heard today, I don't think he will be playing any games for the Philadelphia 76ers. So we'll lead off with Ben. Ben, go ahead and give us your take of kind of what you saw evolve over the last few days.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm sick of Ben Simmons. I'm sick of his attitude. It's just to me feels like a poison on the team. Whatever his gripe is and what he wants, I think he's either said it or didn't. I guess he decided to come back and try to do whatever. I don't know the whole contract details, but I think he's clearly wanted out for years, or he doesn't vibe maybe with some of the team there. To me, Ben Simmons has always been, way overhyped as a player, plays absolutely no defense, cannot shoot the ball at all, which again, not everybody has to be tooled in every single skill set you need in the NBA, but he came in with a lot of hype out of college. I believe he went to LSU from Australia. It just
didn't even
to
play.
me, he seems,
barely even played.
Yeah. He just seems like he's got a laissez-faire attitude about everything, kind of doesn't care. And then it gets back. The Sixers, you would imagine Joel Embiid really from last year wants kind of revenge. He's really going to go after it. And they got a decent team there. And whatever happened today, like Nikki sent the thing, it was reported that Doc told him to play defense and he didn't, which what do you know from Ben Simmons? He's not going to play defense. So I think everybody's sick of his shit. Joel's definitely sick of his shit, how he just said that in a conference. I don't see how possible Ben Simmons plays a second for the 76ers anymore. They should cut their losses and get rid of him. And then to your next question there, get rid of him. Where does he go? I have no idea. Who wants this guy on their team right now? I mean, who wants this guy to come to their organization? As a Bulls fan, I sure don't, because I don't want him to bring that energy there into the locker room, on the court, and on the practice, in practices. So he'd have to me as an owner, prove something. We'd have to have a conversation and say, hey, everybody deserves a second chance, but like, what's with the attitude stuff? What do you want? What is your gripe? And if you're going to be here, you are going to learn to play some defense. You can scratch him out for shooting any better. That's not his game anyway. But Ben Simmons, I'm just kind of over him. And so really, I just like to see him off the 76ers. And I really don't know where he goes. I don't know.
I agree.
Well, I don't know. He
who wants him?
Yeah. I mean, Ray's not going to like it, but him for Kyrie makes a lot of sense. It lets Kyrie play, and if Ben's vaccinated, he'll be able to play with the Nets, and I think he's a good fit for the Nets as well, actually. So I don't know.
He would be the ideal fit as a third piece, like
absolutely.
Not a scorer and does everything else. Yeah,
his skill set. But
absolutely, he fits in perfectly with the Nets. I just don't know. KD would have to sign off on that. So
right.
I don't know. It's too early to tell.
What's Ben do the first time KD rips into him? About his effort or anything like that. Does he pout in the corner?
All the shit that he's pulling in Philly, other dudes are watching how you're acting.
Yeah.
Like bringing your phone to first of all,
that's crazy when I seen that.
If you're an athlete, getting sent out of practice is the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Like you got to be some kind of idiot to get sent out of practice.
Or just keep being pulled off like a line. Like let's say you're doing a drill and your coach tells you to just like sit this play out because you're not giving effort or whatever the reason. That's and then you got to watch. Like that's embarrassing.
So, and he got sent out and suspended for a game.
Right.
Immediately suspended.
And who knows if he was
fined.
even going to play for that game? So maybe the suspension's not a big thing. He doesn't get paid, I guess.
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
This, but from a kid who said at his time at LSU, I don't even know what I learned. He didn't want to be there. It was one and done. I'm out. Like
that's true. I forgot he said that. I don't even know what I learned.
I feel like there was a story like he didn't go to any classes or anything like that. I don't remember if he finished the season or not. Because I think they made like the NIT. I don't know, whatever. It's not the case. It's just like, you've been in the league for how many years now? You haven't shown, and granted, we don't see the behind the scenes stuff, but his game has not improved one bit. No. LeBron could not shoot a jump shot when he came to the league. LeBron worked very hard every year
right.
to develop into a shooter, a respectable shooter where you got to step out at least on him. So, if that's the one part of your game that's holding you back, why are you not making yourself better? Why are you still doing the same drills and the same workouts every offseason? And I believe he did sign a max contract with the Sixers.
He didn't yet. I don't think he did.
I thought he did.
I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did.
I'll look that
so
up.
Let's check
yeah,
that.
you look that up while I'm
got
talking.
you.
So we'll go with, if he did sign the contract, what are you complaining about?
Right.
So
I know.
because this all circles back, like, take responsibility for yourself. Up till now, the players have always backed him. Embiid always backed him. Now, don't get me started on overrated Doc Rivers, but still, like, you need to get better, dude. That's what it's going to be in every place. He wants to go to a team that's going to hide his inabilities. Fine. Showing up to practice with your phone in your pocket, doing half-ass defensive slides, not cool. No. He should have never he should have never stepped foot in that building if this is what he was going to act like.
So he signed a 5-year, 177. This was the second year.
177.
This is the second year of that deal.
What do you got to complain about?
$33 million this year.
What are you complaining about?
That dude is making 30. Wow.
And he has a 15% trade kicker.
Yeah,
that sucks for
it's
Philly.
Just stupid, bro.
Yeah.
He should have never
he's
stepped
getting
in that
paid
building.
on top of it.
Once you stepped in that building, you needed to commit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought at first. I thought he'd be one of those, instead of the who did this? I think Odell did it with the Giants, where he was there at camp every day. He showed up, but was like, I don't basically want to be here.
Harden did it last year in Houston.
Yeah.
Harden did the same exact thing in Houston. Yeah. And Ben Simmons didn't say a word. Now, get it? I get it. Doc Rivers criticized him publicly numerous times. That's an asshole move. I would not feel right going back into that locker room either, or him being my coach either. But either stay your ass home, or once you show up, then commit, because you still have a responsibility to the team. You still have a responsibility to your teammates, the franchise, the people who are paying you, the fans. What's the issue? Like, it's not a religious thing. It's not a family thing. Now I'm seeing that they're saying that he told Philly when he got there that he wasn't mentally ready to play. What are you like? Not questioning your mental, but what are you like? Unless there's something personal we don't know about, what is so hard?
That's such an easy cop out nowadays, because I was thinking about that as well, where like I hope he doesn't blame mental illness, because that's becoming one of those cry out, and you want to believe everybody at their word, and you want to have that open-mindedness and that good heart of, hey, you don't know what a guy's going through, which is fine, but also you don't want it to be one of those things where most people are using that as an excuse or a ploy for their bad behavior and their mistakes. That's unfortunate. You got to read it. Based on what I see, I've never seen enthusiasm out of his voice. I've never seen an interview from Ben Simmons ever that made me go, ooh, I like this player.
Always disinterested. Always.
The best word to describe Ben Simmons is dull.
Yeah.
He's just dull.
And usually you would not, and that you look at a Kawhi and you go, whoa, how does that stoic figure of human flesh play the game so hard and well? And he does, obviously, injury plague a little bit and some load management, but when he's on the court, there's no denying anything that he's giving. So
it just, I don't know, he just never seemed like
I have no sympathy.
Seems like he's not interested in playing basketball at all, so just don't play. And to have, maybe like you said, Nick, that he's not mentally there or whatever. Your team, forget the offseason stuff, but if you're a competitor and the ultimate goal is to win a championship, like that's your ultimate goal. This team was close last year, or at least closer than a lot of teams. They made it, in the playoffs. You think he would come in this year ready to roll, or if he's going to decide to stay with the Sixers, ready to try to gel and figure out how they can get back there. But clearly he doesn't. I don't know what he wants. It'd be great for someone to sit down with him. He can do it, literally interview, call Joe Rogan, do a Ben Simmons interview, and say, hey, what's the deal here? What do you want? But I don't know. Until then,
I'm sorry.
I'm done with him.
Yeah.
I'm done with him.
I don't have any sympathy for people who don't take interest in wanting to better themselves.
Yep.
And in this instance, bettering yourself on the basketball court, not as a human being. But from what we see, he doesn't care. And I don't understand what's with these players. When you want to get traded, why aren't you going out there and doing the right things, playing hard and increasing your value so you can get traded?
Right.
Yeah.
Why,
like when you're trying to find a job,
not at practice? So now when you get traded, you need to wait another 3 weeks because you need to get in shape again. And you need to gel and you need to get shots up. Like what is it?
It's what we've done to these athletes as a society. You know, we've built them up so much. We put them on this pedestal. We've given them, you know, not us fans, but as organizations and corporations, we've given them, you know, the grade A from being 16, 17 years old, where they're just privileged fucks. They might come from the hood, and I get that, but that goes away real quick when they turn 17, 18. They get all these privileges and it goes to their head, and it's human. You know, who's to say that we would know how to act, you know, at 18, 19 years old, having all this either money or fame or success. They don't know how to deal with it when, you know, you're 24, you're trying to give everything you got, you think, and then you're getting criticized that you don't have a jumper. It hit him hard. Reality struck finally, and he was told for the first time in a really long time that he doesn't have what it takes. I think that's basically what it is.
Right.
I agree.
The other crazy thing is, how do the Sixers move that contract? I don't see how they do. Who's taking that?
It's easy in the NBA. OKC will take it for him and
right. OKC, I always think of that.
Yeah.
They're always ahead of trades.
Opens up another conversation that we need to have, but I think that's why, to Ray's point about like them not knowing what to do, and that's any athlete not knowing what to do when they get that type of money, is schools should have less of like the bullshit classes and more like, you know, financial literacy and management classes, because it, you know, in their defense, it's not fair to them either. I wouldn't know what to do if I was handed $100 million tomorrow either.
Throw a mental health class in there.
Put it in Ethereum, but
oh, without a doubt. keep in mind, handing that much money when you're that young. That's what's crazy about it. I always think back to myself when I was, now he got that contract when he was older, but still, even though when I was 25, I was a dummy when I was 25. Thinking about my 25-year-old self from now, I'm like, man, I'm stupid. If someone had handed me that much money, I would have gotten into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, I think high about myself in that regard, where I feel like I've always been responsible for how much money I've ever gotten. You know, there's no difference between making 100K, I think, or 200K and then making $1 million. So it's like, it all about where you are in life, where your mental capacity is, where your maturity is. And somebody like you, obviously, I don't know you besides the last 9 months, Ben, but knowing you from talking to you, I think you would be a lot more responsible than you think, whether it was now or maybe 5-7 years ago. But like I said, I don't know your story, so that's important to keep
it's just,
being open-minded
about.
Like
all of us, I didn't grow up with money at all.
Yeah.
And so, I started working when I was 14 years old, and then pretty much worked ever since then. I've never not had a job or a full-time job. But I would just wish I would have saved or done more stuff with that money.
Yeah.
Back then than when I started to. And everybody, I think, has that
wisdom. Yeah.
But definitely over the last, 6, 7, 8 years, I kind of same thought process. Like, oh, this is just a process. This is my goal. I got to stick to the plan to get there.
Bree's been calling them fun coupons lately, not money.
Fun coupons. Yep.
She's just like, let me just enjoy my fun coupons. And I'm just like, somebody's got to monitor this, or no more fun coupons, no more fun. Right. So, hello.
It's not an unlimited supply.
Yeah. It's like, if I had a tree outside that I could landscape, after today mowing the lawn, I would make sure that tree is growing every day, but that's not a thing,
Well,
Ben Simmons. He's got a bunch of teams. I think Portland's a team that he could go to. I think the Nets are a team. Obviously, like Gravy said, there's an opportunity because with that contract, it's you got to make sure the money matches up. The team you would go to has the money, also has the assets to match the money and we got to see, because
Role. I mean,
if
he's got to be put in a specific role.
Yeah, that too. And that's the third aspect. So money, assets, and then also that the fact that team could even fill that role, because he's very specific. You got to make sure you have other scorers around him. So if you don't, you're not gonna. You might be a great defensive team, but you're not gonna put up a lot of points.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, let's close the book on Ben Simmons. Tonight's game, Nets Bucks rematch of Game 7 that broke my heart last season. I'm gonna pause it when it becomes tip off so I could watch it behind. So don't text. I won't be looking at group chats for a little while until I'm caught up. But just real quick, what do we think? Out of the East, we'll do a NBA preview next week when we got a full squad here. But what do we think? Kind of favorites in the East, favorites in the West, real quick.
Knicks in 5.
Nice. I think the favorites in the East to me are the Nets.
Regardless, and is that an asterisk with assuming Kyrie comes back halfway through? Because I think it's safe to say that everybody could kind of agree that I don't think he's gonna hold out for longer than expected. I think I won't be shocked if he does, but I think he comes back a lot sooner than the average person would think.
My Nets pick right now is thinking without Kyrie. So I'm just thinking with KD and James Harden.
Fair.
You didn't get to see many games with them play, all three of them play last year. So it's hard to tell.
Exactly.
I just try to keep it in my head. I think KD and Harden for the Nets, with everything else to have set up nicely. I think KD is going to have an MVP type year, in my opinion. I think that guy, was healthy last year, but I think he's probably really ready to go this year. And really, I think going to be trying to prove something. So the Nets, I will give a shout out to my Bulls. I'm super pumped for tomorrow night's game, versus the Pistons.
Who do you guys play? Okay.
Pistons in Detroit. And I definitely have, my expectations are playoffs for sure. I don't see with our roster any reason we shouldn't make the playoffs. I'm just going to keep it at that. I'm excited. The Bulls hopefully will be back. So Bulls Knicks games and Nets games this year should be interesting, now instead of typical whoopings. But out of the West I'm like super torn about. I don't know. You want to say the Lakers, I'm like the Lakers on paper. But I don't know. That is an old roster. How are they going to hold up? I'm interested to see how they kind of manage LeBron this year. Does he get maybe some minute restrictions? I know you heard him say, I think it was yesterday, it says
34
minute restrictions actually make him, play worse or make him feel worse. I don't know.
I think the West is more open than the East. Can we all agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's like five teams, 4 teams in the West that I could be like, I could see them being in that Phoenix Suns situation.
Oh, yeah.
This year. And then in the East, the list probably ends at 2, right? Because Philly's got to figure so unless Philly pulls up a great deal that they get like a Bradley Beal, they get like a CJ McCollum that they're talking, Dame Lillard, something like that. I can't assume it. I can only say they're gonna go.
I gotta see them play first because I feel they might be better without Ben Simmons with the team they have now.
Sometimes addition with subtraction. It
just opens up things for other people, and I mean we'll see how they play. I think back to the KD point, I think it was important to make this Kyrie decision before the season started because everyone can get their roles, sorted out, and KD's got to know this is my team. It's not going to be any back and forth. Don't want to see him injured. If everyone stays healthy and KD gets in a rhythm, it's going to be awfully hard to stop him. So we'll see.
Speaking of the West, I don't think the Suns. I think they'll actually regress. I think
they should have paid DeAndre Ayton. They're tripping.
Yeah. I don't want to say last year was a fluke.
They gave a couple people some money on that team too.
Yeah, I don't see them returning. I see them regressing. I'll be interested to see what Utah does. I'll be interested to see what Denver does. I love Dame, so I'll be interested to see what Portland does. They don't have the talent. I'm interested to watch Golden State this year. I know Clay's not back yet, but it'll be when he does come back, that team will be kind of interesting to watch. So I'm super pumped. I mean, man, and college basketball's starting up soon. So
It's
Coach K's last year. Hey,
it's a great fucking time to be alive and have more than one television in front of you, because
right.
I told somebody the other day, not to boast. I mean, most of us or some of us have the opportunity to, but man, to watch one television and to be locked and to be wanting to watch other televisions like sports, it's like, thank God I'm blessed and fortunate to have multiple streams or something, because oh my God, every day this week, now even worse, I'm going to be struggling with even being like, how do I watch 5 TV? How do I get 5 TVs
See,
in this?
you guys do this. You get this set up, and I like it because you have the multiple TVs. I just don't know. I don't know how I would do it. It's hard for me to tune in to multiple things at the same time, and I don't know what room in my house have I put it in.
It's a practice. Honestly, I like to say it takes a lot of effort. You got to be able to, when people are over, you got to have that switch over mute button, one muted and one not. You got to be able to, oh shit, a home run, boom, hit it. You got to be on tune. So it's a lot of responsibility, but like Spider-Man said, with power comes great responsibility.
Also, pal, you don't know where to put the TVs. That's why you call me, and all right, I'll come to your house.
Yeah,
and I'll design your wall
Gravy
for you.
knows. Gravy knows.
Where in my house would I do this?
Your basement. You have room for 17 TVs on that wall.
I swear I've never seen your basement before, but I will assume that it has a lot of wall space and a lot of room. I'm just gauging from your behind you has nothing right now, so I would assume
I could fit 4 42-inch TVs right behind your head right now.
He's already measured when you were in the bathroom the other day.
Basement's gonna look like the VAR system.
Yeah, dude, we gotta hook Ben up.
If we can just get a toilet installed down here, and then get a fridge in that one space, then I'll be down.
Now you're being bougie. You asking for a toilet?
Well, no, it's just like how Nick knows how much of a pain it is. My house is like levels.
Oh, okay.
And so in the basement,
Florida got one levels.
The basement's not totally finished, so like if you're down here hanging out and you gotta take a piss or something,
that late night.
Not to be lazy, but you're like, damn, I gotta
there's
walk
no back
upstairs.
door or anything like that. You gotta go upstairs.
I gotta walk upstairs to get that, and so that's why I don't hang out down here as much as I wanted to, because
you always gotta pee a poop.
But
I get it.
I just gotta make a little improvements, and
mini fridge is always clutch, because peeing and going to the bathroom, that might happen every 30, 60 minutes, but having a beverage on deck when on command is essential. Yes, you need that in any man situation.
I just want to be able to go grab it.
I'll pee in a Gatorade bottle if I could get a beer right next to me. I would trade that in a heartbeat. Cool. So we'll do more in depth.
You guys been doing a little boozing?
Oh, grab Happy's coughs. I
love
that.
Pee in a Gatorade bottle. I just thought of Dumb and Dumber when he's peeing in the bottle. I was like, you guys been doing a little booze in there? Throwing back on Grandpa's cough medicine.
So we'll do more in depth the NBA season, because we would love to hear about the rejuvenated Beatles 2.0 Miami Heat.
Yuck.
Little preview next week. And then I'll save NFL for after, but if you guys want to talk, let's go into some hockey talk real quick. You guys wanted to share some things. NHL season kicked off last week at this time, so go ahead.
Yep, but maybe not many NHL fans out there, but NHL started last week. Big Chicago Blackhawks fan. If you've been paying attention, we are terrible at the moment. We are 0-3. I was hoping we'd have a decent year. We got Jonathan Toews back. He didn't play all last year because of a immunal issue. Got Marc-Andre Fleury as a goalie. I was watching that first game versus the Avalanche. Now the Avalanche, they're the Avalanche, and probably they're the team that's picked probably going to win the Stanley Cup this year. But damn, they scored 3 goals within like 10 minutes on Marc-Andre Fleury that first game, and I was like, this is not going to go well. Season hasn't gone well. NHL has that new deal with ESPN, so I've seen a lot more games on TV. And I'm just going to make a disclaimer for those who don't watch a lot of hockey, but especially my age, if you watched a lot of it growing up, it was maybe more a defensive game than it is now. Now hockey, they've changed some of the rules, so the scoring is there. So you'll regularly have hockey matches and hockey games at every night that are 5-2, 6-2, 6-4. So a lot of action in them. Check them out. And yeah, that's all I want to say. Hockey's in full swing. Blackhawks play the Islanders here at 7, hoping to pick up our first win.
Probably not.
I know. Probably not.
Islanders got a good team.
I know. Hey, but they have no home. They have no home right now. You know,
The Islanders.
Yeah,
They're back in Long Island, aren't they?
they're not at the new stadium yet. It's not fully done, I think, or they're not fully there. I thought
because they're not at the Barclays anymore, right?
Yeah, they're not. I think they're in the new.
They're back at the
new
Coliseum.
situation.
I think they're in a new one, but I don't think they can play in there yet.
I don't know. I hate them. So.
Oh, so do I. I can't stand them.
I got a nice little hockey parlay tonight.
Go ahead, Grave. Anything to add on to that?
Rangers got their first win last night. Shout out the bread man, Artie Panarin. With the goal in overtime to win, to beat the Caps. Hate the Caps. So just looking right now, I got Jersey Devils money line, Panthers puck line, Sabres puck line, and Wild money line. All is looking good except for the Sabres, who are down 2-1. Still covering at the moment, but would like to keep that closer.
Yeah.
But shout out to hockey and shout out to Hockey Talk.
Hockey
Talk. This is a show that Pat McAfee's boys do.
Yes.
If you don't know hockey, it's good to get in.
Yeah, I love that hockey's back on ESPN, or not back, right? Or has it? You know, they promoted it as back on ESPN. And I think they took like a 20-year.
Yep, ESPN and TNT.
Yeah, huge for me as a non-daily, weekly, even monthly hockey. I don't have a team. I'm kind of like a free agent, so I'm open. But I love to throw it on the third TV like it is behind me now.
If you're looking for a team, I know since you're in Florida, Ray, the Panthers are good.
Yeah. I've actually been to 4 or 5 Panthers games, and that's more than any other, like, if that versus any other games that I've ever been to has been the most. So I guess by that number by itself, I've been to more, I'm, I guess, a Panthers fan. So I fuck with them. I like the vibe.
You could be a Rangers fan.
No, I will not root for anything that Dolan makes money off of. I will not. God. Sorry, bro. He did it to himself. If he's a decent human being, I'd do it. He's a shit.
He's trying to better himself.
What? I was gonna say
he's trying to better himself.
Mental health.
ESPN TNT deal, and that will be good for hockey. I think it's gonna be really good. So
for sure.
If you don't have a team, pick one. And if you want to become a fan of hockey, the best way to do it is to go to a game, sit ice level, try to sit up right next to the glass, and just have a few drinks and bang on the glass the entire night. You'll become a hockey fan.
And I've been privileged to sit at a Florida Panther game, front row, right behind the goal. I'm able to pound the glass and everything. That was like 3-4 years ago. Able to be in a suite. So obviously, I kind of, with the company that I work for, be able to like win a contest and do that stuff. But I've experienced hockey over the last 3 or 4 years in the best way, and I think I'm going to try to get into it more. So I'll try to, the YouTube TV in the local area doesn't have Bally Sports, which Panthers, Miami Marlins, and the Heat play on. So I'll have to like illegally stream it, allegedly. So I'll have to figure that out. But hey, hockey's back, and the playoffs is usually where I'm at, and I like tuning in. But regular season,
Blackhawks are on ESPN tonight, if you're wondering. So
yeah. And then baseball, obviously we have Sox up 2-1 in that series. That's a great series. Sox are battling back from games, putting up big runs. That game the other day with the Stros coming back, and then putting a home run
overtime.
Yeah,
Is there any dude more clutch in the playoffs than Schwarber?
Carlos Correa.
That dude's locked in. Yeah, Altuve and Correa know how to get it done. They're top 7 in all-time home runs, which is wild. And then George Springer is as well. I think he's number 8 or something. So
it's wild.
It's insane. They have 3 players.
He's like 5'7". You know, man.
Hey, I want to ask you guys live. Should I trade Travis Kelce and Damian Harris for James Robinson and either Hollywood Brown or Emmanuel Sanders? My team stinks, by the way.
Give me the deal again.
James Robinson and either Hollywood Brown or Emmanuel Sanders for Travis Kelce and Damian Harris. Mind you, my team is 1-5. And I also have George Kittle and another tight end on my roster.
So what you're doing is you're trying to resurrect your team or
need some depth.
Still suck and give another team the ability to get those pieces and move forward. Huh? Depends on what you want to do, in that regard.
I'm a big,
you have nothing to lose. You stink, and I'm like you in multiple teams where
sometimes
I can make some
trades. To switch it up,
Yeah, no, for sure.
I just can't get rid of Travis Kelce, so that's my guy. So.
Good looking dude. Good looking white boy.
Yep. And he's a baller. I mean,
oh yeah. He's from Ohio.
And he looks like Fort.
If you're from Ohio, you're either a piece of shit or very successful. Nothing in the middle.
Right.
From my experience. And
you're either
if you're listening and you're from Ohio, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So
that's a joke.
Last sports kind of topic or kind of going in depth is NFL Week 6 recap. Started off with the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. Their first home or second home depends on. They probably have more wins there than they do in Jacksonville in the last couple of years.
4-4 in 8 games.
Yeah, it's nuts. Somebody said like other teams go there and they get confused. Like, why do they play so well here? And then they just lose. And then, so obviously the Giants, I'm not going to go into detail in that injury plagued team mixed with, some subject or some questionable coaching and then playing better teams. So we'll lead off with Ben taking over. What do you got from the Bears stance? And then Gravy, if you want to recap any Giants or anything else.
From the Bears stance, we gave it our all there as we could, but we could not contain Aaron Rodgers and that beautiful hair he's growing. Defense played well. Our D line all year has been getting to the quarterback for sure. And Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn have just been tearing it up.
Yeah, you guys are feisty.
From there, defense has played well. Eddie Jackson, again, you were on suspect number 1 list for not tackling. Again, in that game, if you watch it, I have so many gripes with that guy lately. It just, I don't know where he's at on the field. And then my biggest gripe is, I'll just have to say is the offense. We still haven't passed for over 200 yards the entire season in a game, which I think is kind of embarrassing. Good. We have Justin Fields there, and he just looks like we're kind of bottling up and containing him, not letting him be free, not moving him around outside of the pocket again. I know Bill Lazor's calling plays, but it just doesn't feels kind of like we're in a no man's land right now. And then as we talked before, our schedule does not get easier. Like we go to Tampa Bay on Sunday. So we're 3-3. I'll take it as that. I'm hoping to still see more improvement. Tariq Cohen should be starting to get off the injured reserve list and get back to practice. I think that'll help. Khalil Herbert's been running well in backup for Dave Montgomery. We are going to face the Bucs this week, who do have the number 1 rush defense in the NFL. So based on our passing performance all year and playing the number 1 rush defensive team, this Sunday should be a very lopsided bloodbath. So
I didn't expect you to say that last word.
The pain will continue as a Bears fan this year, and all I can hope for is at the end of the year we clean house and Ryan Pace, you've been there for 5 years. Matt Nagy, you've been there for 4 years, and it just hasn't worked out. And so it's time to move on. Each man go on their other path, and let's start over, and let's try not to waste some of the talent that we have and move forward.
Go ahead, Grave.
I will waste no more. Oh, yep.
Yes, everyone I have seen the video of Aaron Rodgers saying that he owns us.
And you will confirm.
But I
that
have
he does.
there's nothing I can say to it because the man is 22-5 against us.
Yeah.
All my life, I've watched Aaron Rodgers completely and utterly dominate us in every game, pretty much, even in the NFC Championship games and the divisional playoff games, where he destroyed us too, gave him too much time, like a minute and 30 seconds. I knew exactly he was going to take it down the field, score a touchdown. He's always dominated us. So any Bears fan that's upset, the only way to shut him up is to beat him, and we can't beat him. So he does own us.
Oh, I'm your daddy, like Pedro said.
Yep.
One-way ticket to Pound Town for the Bears fans.
Okay, Grave. What's your week 6 take?
I will no longer waste my breath speaking about the Giants until we fire Dave Gettleman. So I will instead speak about my 2 favorite quarterbacks to watch in the league, and that is Aaron Rodgers, which Ben spoke about already. So I no longer need to do that. I love when he does that pump fake and then, runs. He always gets people. I think that's
so
awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's so good at it.
And so don't have to talk about that. And, just another wonderful performance by Kyler Murray. Yep. Dude's fun to watch. They're even going to get better when Zach Ertz gets there next week. He was with the team this weekend, but obviously wasn't able to play because he played on Thursday with the Eagles. But, yeah, it's fun watching that dude. He can run, throw, bootleg, play action, everything, man. And they got a lot of weapons over there in Arizona. And the last undefeated teams at 6-0, I think they're probably a 17.5, 18-point favorite right now against the Lions. Are they playing the Lions? I don't know who they're playing. They're playing somebody who fucking stinks. I'll tell you that. So they do play the Packers in 2 weeks. That's going to be a really good game and a really good test to see where both teams are at. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, I'm no longer speaking about the Giants on this podcast until we get our shit together.
Absolutely. I agree.
The Lions play the Rams. Ooh,
oh yes,
for a game.
Yep.
And the Cardinals play the Texans.
Texans. Yep.
Yeah.
Revenge game for JJ Watt and DeAndre Hopkins. So.
The Kyler Murray thing is what I'm talking about with Justin Fields. Like Arizona built an offense around Kyler Murray and uses his strengths. They get him outside the pocket. They let him run a bit. Now Justin Fields isn't, he can run, but he's not a Lamar Jackson type runner. He's not a Kyler Murray type runner. He can really throw the ball, but he's mobile enough to get him outside of the pocket. We continue to drop him back and let him stand there. It drives me insane. And so
not going to lie,
see somebody like, Justin Fields is not a Tom Brady like where he's got to stand inside that pocket and try to release the ball real quick and get it out. You can get that guy mobile, get some play action going, do something.
Kyler Murray's fun to watch.
Sorry.
No, I meant to kind of
quarterbacks like that in the league. You would think you have examples of what to try to do, but
yeah, Kyler Murray's fun to watch, but my man's always scrambling and running around. I mean, I watched him a lot on Sunday for the first time. I think Red Zone had him on the TV a lot, or maybe I was watching him more, but he can scramble, he can move around, but eventually it's either the offensive line needs to get better because like you can't have every play be a off the cuff kind of just scramble, run around and then throw. It's not going to work long term. Eventually schemes are going to figure you out or you're just going to get hurt and that's going to happen. You're going to make one wrong move and you're going to be done. I don't know if you guys watched like more than maybe 5 minutes to Kyler Murray play, but I feel like he's always scrambling, always running, making plays, which is great, which is amazing and fun. But eventually you need to be a pocket quarterback because when you're in the playoffs, if you don't have home field, you're going to be in weather situations that aren't going to permit you to move that well. So I'm just kind of projecting. Obviously, it's fun to watch now, but I'm just being a little critical on a player that I know has potential and he's going to be great for years. But you got to figure it out, I guess, sooner than later because eventually that luck is going to run its course.
One big hit is all it takes.
Yeah, man. It's dangerous.
That's all it takes. But the other thing I wanted to say about football is, obviously, if anybody paid attention to the game last night, Derrick Henry, the beast that he is just, Bills defensive run game, I think, was like 4th, and he just ran all over him, had 3 touchdowns again. And he's on pace to break the regular season rushing record at the moment. And I think he's on pace for like 28 touchdowns. I know it's hard for anybody but a QB to win MVP in the NFL. But if that man continues up those numbers, then Derrick Henry got to have considerable look there. We'll see where the Titans are at, but like that, I mean, he is a beast.
Some of the games that stuck out for me was that the Washington football team was playing well with the Chiefs for, I would say, 2 to 3/4 of that game. Obviously, Chiefs pull it out, but Chiefs got talent, but I don't know if they've taken a few steps back with whatever they got going on. But the Washington football team played them well for most of that game. The Ravens blowing out the Chargers was huge. I thought that was a big time game. Obviously, I think the Chargers. Yeah, it was surprising because obviously the Chargers were just like the Cardinals, where they're on top of their game. Obviously, West Coast traveling to East Coast, but the Cardinals did the same and they handled the Browns. Obviously, Browns got some injuries running back wise and quarterback wise a little bit there. And then the fucking Patriots couldn't hold on to the Cowboys, man. It's the only thing that would have felt me. It was a horrible football week. Fantasy 0-3, whether it's win-loss. And then just the Giants. So it wasn't a good Sunday. I was kind of hungover, deeply actually, and I was hoping. But
I had a great Sunday. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, no, I didn't only from that perspective. Obviously, it was a great Sunday that I got to relax, hang out with people I enjoy. But from a material, selfish way, I didn't have a fucking good Sunday.
Right. You're only about 67%.
Yeah, like come on, dude. Gravy, anything to sum up your kind of NFL kind of things you've seen and kind of going into week 7?
Nope. Just want to brag about my 8-team parlay. I always like to do wild parlays.
Oh yeah, talk to that. You're the parlay king.
People call me stupid, but I don't care. I make money so I can spend it. And I do it for the thrill. But this weekend it finally happened for the second time. I did hit a 10-team parlay in college football last year. But I had an 8-leg parlay. I do a lot of alternate spread betting. So all of these games I had at -2.5. So I had the Packers, Chiefs, Bengals, Cardinals, Raiders, Cowboys, Steelers, and Bills. I got the first 7 correct after that wild ass Sunday night game with the Steelers. And the original bet was $10 to win 1081. And I got to that after that Steelers game was wild. I definitely thought I was going to lose. Almost cashed out at halftime for like $400, but I was like, nah, fuck it. We're here. Like, there's no way.
21-0 at one point or 14-0?
14-0.
Okay.
But then they made it a game, and I was like, there is no way Geno Smith wins a football game in 2021.
Nope.
So
in 2021,
you knew it was a lock.
Yeah. So I was like, I just got to stick with it. I stuck with it. They pulled it off. Thank you to TJ Watt for being good at football.
Punching that ball, huh?
Yep. And so I debated. I went back and forth a little bit. Fort told me not to cash out. But I woke up Monday morning and I just had a really bad feeling about that Bills game. I honestly did. And there was a moment I was like, fuck it, I'm going with it. And then I woke up Monday morning and I was like, I'm cashing out. Because I'd rather have $580 than have nothing.
And $850. Right? What was your best case if you did that game?
1081.
1081.
I gave up $500
or 5 something. Yeah, okay. No,
you
take that guarantee.
You would have had 0.
I would have had 0.
Yeah.
And then what happened? They lost last night by 3. So it ended up working in my favor for once. And
you'll regret more of the not cashing out than the oh wow, I feel great. I won 1,000. No, that's when I know when to cash out.
I won $550, like $570, whatever. It's way better than
that's awesome, dude.
Losing $10.
Never.
Oh my goodness.
That's why for sports gambling, never trust primetime games. I can't trust them. What you think might happen, and if the game is on primetime, something always seems to happen. Like, and when you were saying that, I didn't trust that Titans Bills game. It stunk of like something bad to happen.
Yeah.
So I think you're smart. I would have done the same thing. I would have cashed
My boy
that.
BG always says, no matter the percentage of the profit, be happy with the profit.
Yeah, I try to take that into my stock game where it's like, if I want to cash out, I'll look at the money that it's at, and then I'll be like, all right, hypothetically, if this goes up to double what it's at, would I be happier then, or will I be happy now if it just went all to zero in the next minute? That's how you have to kind of figure it out. And I
do the same exact thing with my investing. Is I set like a return target of what I'm looking at
just
for,
do it,
and then if it hits that, I just do it. I'm just do it and try to
live with it,
cash out, take my money, and then try to sprinkle that into other things. And
fuck yeah, I'm getting my windows tinted.
Yeah,
some
there
other
you go.
shit done. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
You should have put you should have put some fun coupons next to that trophy behind you just to represent your week.
Right.
Like, I had a good week. I got fucking paid. I got a trophy.
I was trying to debate because shout out to my
Corbell.
Shout out to my second mother.
Corbell. No.
Shout out to my second mother, Judy.
Got that brute.
With that Moet. I don't even know if that's how you say it, but
yeah,
I'm broke.
Shut up.
Mandy and I got this for our engagement, and we
nice.
still haven't opened.
Sweet. Hey,
but I was debating
save it
before
for the actual thing, huh? At this point.
So Mandy's not home right now, so I was debating before we sign on how mad she would be if I just popped this shit while we're recording and like sprayed it all over. But then
she'd be mad either way.
Yeah.
Pissed.
Depends on what day it is, but let's not get into that.
I mean, there's carpet cleaners, and I just won $500, so I'll pay for it.
Facts. Yeah, just boom, take that Venmo. You can't throw cash anymore because that's not a thing. You just got to be like, boom, Venmo.
Yeah.
In your phone.
Just slap your phone together with Apple Pay.
For me, just throw up your Bitcoin,
Throw up your Bitcoin password and be like, bitch.
Yeah. Ben's walking around slapping people with a Bitcoin. Just
yeah.
All right. Well, without Ford here, bet the Ford, he'll do some IG picks. I believe last week he had a solid week. Do you guys remember what he said in the group chat?
Bet the Ben is all I saw.
At the Ben. I think
these are not my picks, by the way, because I don't like the Browns pick at all.
Me neither.
Yeah, he had 3 picks. He had Bucks, Eagles. I didn't know that.
Yeah, right now I'm not gonna say these are set in stone. Maybe he can put it out there, but he said he's taking the Browns Thursday night, Oregon over UCLA. UCLA is -2, and San Diego State over Air Force.
And Joe Harris
Saturday
over 2.5 threes tonight.
Don't tell me what's going on. I want to watch the game.
Totally. Oh, trust me, I've already looked at it and
I have
reminded
it on
myself not to say anything.
Next to me right here.
Yeah, me too. It's right here.
I looked at one person that said something in the group chat and I didn't like it. So just leave it at that, please. Bet the Ford will be back, episode 38. He'll put some pics on the don't do it. He'll put pics on the IG so he could remain, trending up. But a few topics I had trending with retirement numbers. Louisville retired the number 8 for Lamar Jackson. Washington football team retires the number 21.
GOAT, also well deserved.
Yeah. Yep. What are your thoughts on that, real quick, guys?
Both of them.
Both well deserved, man. Both guys that changed the game. Lamar's changing it right now, in real time. Sean T changed the safety position while he was playing. Guys like him and Ed Reed, Brian Dawkins.
Broomstick. Yep.
Yeah. He was truly one of a kind, man. I really enjoyed watching him play. And, as a Giants fan, we don't, we grew up not to like the Redskins, but loved watching that dude play football. So well deserved. Definitely should have took this long. They did a shitty job of announcing it. They gave people like 2, 3, 4 days notice that it was going on. I hope that everybody that needed to be there was there, and people who wanted to experience it and see it got the chance to. So, yeah.
That story is pretty crazy how that weekend he got shot and robbed. Obviously, the people thought he should have been in Tampa for a game, and they went into his house, with weapons, but didn't expect him to be there. And then when they did, he was recovering from an injury there. And such an unfortunate thing where obviously we wish none of it happened, but obviously if it happened the robbers' way, nobody would have been there. They would have got their money, got their whatever, and been out, and nobody had to die. But man, died even before his prime, right? Dude was young. Like you can't even say, "Oh man,
Absolutely.
I wish." You didn't even know what he was going to become.
He was smack in the middle of it.
Didn't even get there. Yeah, so shout out that. That's a good move by that. I remember when the Giants won that Super Bowl, they had 21 on their helmet that same year because he died. So that anytime I see a Super Bowl highlight of the Giants that year, I think of him every time because 21 was on the back of their helmet when they won. It's pretty dope. And then the other trending topic I had here was Kanye West legally changed his name to Yee. Yay. Which is whatever. Like, come on, dude. Change it. Like, at least run our testament, Meta World Peace, or like Chad Ochocinco. That's cool.
It's almost
like,
as bad as that haircut he got.
Like, you don't have to change your name to it. It's like crazy. We already call you that or whatever. It's like it's not that cool.
Yeah. Sometimes I love Kanye, just because he's just out of this world. But sometimes you wish he had a guy with him at all times. So it was like, hey, maybe just not do that one. Let's just sit this one out, man.
Next. And then he got a haircut that looked. Did you see the haircut?
Is it a haircut? I don't even know what the haircut.
He got a haircut too. I'm gonna send it to you
right now.
One
of his kids just go to town on his head.
Let me not look at my feed.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it looks like he gave it the Clippers or to one of.
You'll line me up real quick.
Yeah, what was that? Did you guys both? You guys seen it?
Yeah, I saw the picture. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That is the true definition of your barber, right there.
Yeah, what's going on, man? Anything on your guy? Oh my God! Look at that. You can see it.
Yeah,
right?
it's bad.
Terrible.
Come on, dog. Come on. What is that? Anything? Either trending that we didn't mention. I know Gravy had one with the NBA and crypto, and then we'll get in DM shout outs, anything to wrap up the episode, and then we'll be out.
Ben, you got anything?
Yeah, I'm just gonna give a shout out to my barber Ian. He was over on Sunday watching the football game. He's a big Browns fan, but I don't know if we've talked about it on here before, but I'm gonna give a shout out to his brother. His brother lives in New York, and he does this walking thing where he walks, long miles. For example, he's just wrapping up an entire walk. He walked across the entire length of Long Island took him 9 days, 150 miles. And then if you go to his Instagram, he has this Instagram called Pedestrian, where he writes a newsletter kind of about his experiences. And then it's just kind of live walking, literally just walking. That's what he's doing, kind of experiencing things in city to city, from place to place. And if you follow him, it's super cool what he's doing. He did one earlier this year where he walked, can't remember. I think maybe it was from New Jersey to Philadelphia. And that was pretty cool. And it's just kind of refreshing to see what he does there. And so shout out to him completing that. I think today was his last day, and he finished it out that walk. I can't imagine the blisters or the chafing that man is experiencing at the moment. If you pay attention to his Instagram, he is definitely experiencing some of them, but something different and cool to see there. If he ever comes into Des Moines and does a walk, I'm in.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Also, shout out to Ian for the very fire buffalo chicken dip on Sunday.
Ooh, buffalo chicken dip, bro. That's something I try to avoid as much meat as I can, but if you throw a buffalo chicken dip in front of me,
very
Ian
addicting.
Brought it over on Sunday, and
it's so addicting.
Three of us were like a revolving door at that thing.
Holy, it's like, you think you're just gonna scoop and then walk away. You can't do that.
You're back like 2 seconds later.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so I spoke on here a while back about minor league baseball and how they treated their players and the shitty situations. So in 2022, Major League Baseball will require teams to provide housing for all minor leaguers. So that's a good thing. Shout out to them. They deserve it. I had some other stuff. Doc Rivers is overrated. Okay. The NBA and Coinbase announced a multi-year partnership that makes Coinbase the exclusive cryptocurrency platform partner of the NBA, WNBA, NBA G League, NBA 2K League, and USA Basketball. I think that's awesome. We talk about it weekly, and it's big for the future too. So, Ben, I don't know if you have anything you would like to add to that. You are the crypto god.
You guys all know how I feel about Coinbase. I mean, and I'm super pumped.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, Mo and his dad were talking about it when they were here on Sunday. I think they both I think his dad got in at like 32 or 33 and Bitcoin, and then Mo got in it at 35 or 36. So they're doing well.
Yeah.
You're about to see Bitcoin take off right now, and then you'll see the whole chain. Bitcoin
Stock market's looking good too. It's had a good couple 3 days. Yeah, I figured the summer was going to die down, mid year, and then now it's battling back to the end of the year. Companies do well at the end of the year, so
should be a good fall winter for stocks and
I'm excited.
Crypto.
Yep.
Okay. The Hall of Fame ballot. I guess like the people who get to vote have began voting. Some players that I saw were on the ballot for the first time. A-Rod, David Ortiz. Oh shit, hit something I shouldn't. Jimmy Rollins, Prince Fielder, Joe Nathan, Mark Teixeira, and that's it for that. So I don't know. Quick reaction. I don't think
Prince Fielder. No.
I'm
gonna cross him off right away.
And I love Prince Fielder, but I'm gonna say no. Mark Teixeira.
Jimmy Rollins not first ballot. Maybe he'll be a few years. In my opinion.
I don't know if Mark Teixeira.
I would say no ballot, in general, but
Jimmy,
he would take it.
A-Rod's gonna get there.
I don't think A-Rod gets in.
Mark Teixeira
on the first ballot.
Only because he did in. Switch hitter. Switch hitter won a ship.
Ballot,
both sides of the.
I think we're talking about three different players right now.
Wait. Alex Rodriguez, like in J-Lo Alex Rodriguez?
No, because who was a switch? You were talking about Jimmy Rollins being a switch hitter?
No, I was talking about Teixeira.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I switched. My bad.
So A-Rod, you guys think is getting in?
I say yes.
I don't think he's getting on first ballot. I think they're gonna. I think baseball is gonna
make him sweat a little bit.
Yeah, give him. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Give him second year.
I feel their way of saying like, hey, but I think he'll get in eventually.
Very true.
Maybe.
Yep. I think Big Papi gets in first ballot.
Yep. Papi gets
loved by the fans. It could be good for baseball. Celebrate Boston. Yep.
Jimmy Rollins, I don't think gets in first ballot. No to Prince. Joe Nathan is.
I don't think Prince should be in it at all. Are you guys against me on that? Prince Fielder not getting in it at all?
I don't think he had the full body of work. Obviously,
he's got a big body, but not the full body.
He had about 4 good years.
Prince and I very similar, big guys who can run fast. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he was hitting home runs out of Yankee Stadium when he was a fucking.
Yeah, he's 12.
12-year-old. Yeah.
I will say I think Mark Teixeira, if he doesn't get in the first time, I think he gets in the second time. I think
I think he's second or third year. I think so. Second or third year.
Great defensively, switch hitter, high batting.
Liked by people. If you're light, it helps. Just saying. Yeah. It's human. It's a human vote. It's not a computer.
Quick question. Pudge or Yachty?
Pudge.
Ooh.
I say Pudge.
That is
but
so
I think it's a
good
1A,
of a
1B.
debate.
Mine's purely based on the
Holy
team
shit.
Yachty plays for. But.
Dude.
Oh my God. I think it's a 1A, 1B thing.
Yachty's been doing it for so long, consistently.
So
I know, but
I know they're similar. They're as
Pudge
close as you could get.
Pudge won 10 straight Gold Gloves. I looked at all this today.
What I'm saying is, I'm not even looking at numbers. I'm just going off of like, all right, Yachty's in my year, so I've watched most of Yachty's career, if not all of it. Pudge obviously was older, so I didn't. But like, they're so fucking similar. Not having to do it in numbers, when I think of them, they're 1 and then 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's amazing.
I was very surprised to see Pudge has more at bats, more hits, more home runs, 296 home runs, better batting average.
Yachty's got a better average, right?
No, Pudge does. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, I wanted to throw that out there just to see, because I thought Yachty's usually 270, 280 best, but that means Pudge had to hit a lot of 290s, huh?
I'm pretty sure Pudge's career average was 296, if I was correct looking at it.
Good for him. Okay, then I will give it a Pudge then. Like I said, I'm not basing anything I'm saying off numbers. Now I hear the numbers, give it to Budge.
And that's how I felt the same way. And I'm like, damn, he had 13 Gold Gloves. He won 10 in a row in the AL.
That's insane. That's how I usually do baseball. I have one or two guys and I go, okay, him or him. And I pick the one that I think, then I look at the numbers, and then you go, if the numbers, because numbers obviously are something that you could you visualize and kind of say, if the numbers scale you to the other guy, you have to. So that's usually the tiebreaker.
Just wanted to speak quickly because it's the Kings and nobody cares about the Kings. Obviously Marvin Bagley, who I think is a pretty good basketball player, is being held hostage over there. He's been trying to get out. They told him that
last couple of years.
Yep. They told him that he's not in the opening night rotation for the team this year. So they have no plans for him in the future, is what it looks like. They won't trade him. They said they've had previous trade offers, but the value wasn't good enough. So this just goes back to, this is another situation where the Kings are stopping a young player from developing and growing in the league. And that's what their management has become.
Kings be the Kings.
Yep. Yeah. And last for me, I thought it was pretty cool. The Bucks World Series, the Bucks championship ring turns into it, like the top pops off and it turns into a necklace. I thought that was pretty cool because those rings are heavy as shit. So nobody wants to wear that shit all the time. And I'd feel a little safe with it around my neck.
That's pretty dope.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm done.
No. Good.
Done. BDG.
Good stuff all around. Went to AEW on what was that, Saturday night in Miami, and when I set the expectations for what I thought the night would be leading up, I thought it was going to be like an 8-5, 8-8. Man, it was like a 9-8. It exceeded my expectations, and I didn't set it too high. I thought I set it at a good bar because all the excitement going into the new company and how they want to, rival WWE. Man, from the crowd to the dark show was 1 hour from 7 to 8. I get in the building. I feel like Ben's like me in this regard. If I know I'm going to an event at 8 p.m., I'm showing up when the gates open because I want to get every minute. Meaning I want to get my beer, maybe get my food, sit there. I don't care if I got to sit there for an hour. It's just the environment. You watch people walk in. I want to feel all of it, right? Yeah. We got a hotel in Miami, which is great because so nobody had to drive and have that. But shout out Ashley, man. I got to meet her in person.
Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome girl, woman. And she was in the left side of the arena, which we were supposed to be. So we walked in and we had the electrical ticket on my phone, showed the guy didn't even say a word. He just goes, like, okay, where do I sit? Gives me the physical ticket, which I haven't held a physical ticket in years, by the way. Right. I don't know if you guys have, right? Like
no,
a physical
on my
ticket.
Apple Wallet.
I love physical tickets, by the way. I feel like StubHub and Ticketmaster, if I had to pay an extra $5, I would get a physical ticket every time because it brings me back to my childhood. He hands me the physical ticket. Where do we sit? Dead center, like 15 rows up. So we got upgraded, and the original tickets were $29. So I paid under $100 for 2 tickets, and it was an electric show. The first hour of the dark matches were amazing. There was like 5 or 6 of them. Crowd was electric. Then they gave us another hour after 10 p.m. of Rampage, which is being taped for next week. So we got 4 hours of wrestling. Then when the show ended, they sang happy birthday to a wrestler, and then we were able to go down to the front row, everybody, and take pictures and it was just like it felt so. It was like a mainstream show, but with that like homegrown feel.
Yeah, definitely not which like WWE where they control your signs and shit.
Oh, dude, exactly. And man, if you're listening to this podcast and either are a fan of wrestling or kind of want to and see, go to an AEW show and experience 3 to 4 hours of at a great cost. Beers were $7-8, so that was good. Overall, shout out Ashley. Bree was a great sport. She was into it. She always gets into wrestling as much as I do when we go to events. So good experience. And then I bought tickets for Nets Cavs when I go Thanksgiving week because can't go to Barclays, not vaccinated at the moment. So I can't go to Barclays. So I'll go to Orlando Magic games, Cavs games as much as I can. Then we're getting tickets to the Browns Lions for Thanksgiving week in the dog pound. Shout out Mike, Bree's stepdad. And then the last thing I have is everybody should watch not sure if you do Ben or Gravy, but the Wu-Tang Saga, the series. If you guys got into it, I'm behind a little bit. I'm catching up. Like I watched like 5 episodes yesterday, so I'll be caught up very soon. Man, it's a good show. It kind of gives you that nostalgic feel. Obviously, I'm from Staten Island, so it kind of gives that feel of what it was like in the time when I was a kid and I didn't know what was going on, but also teaches you about hip hop, which hip hop, the art of rap and hip hop, the old school, what we love growing up is kind of dying down a little bit. And it gives you that kind of, I don't think another group could do that is what I'm trying to say.
I know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I need to finish it. I started a while back ago and life.
Then you had a baby.
I need to finish it. And,
I've been hearing the last couple episodes have been really good. So that's what I'm trying to get up to real quick. As I sent you a Snapchat of me watching everything they're inspired by. So I started watching YouTube videos of Shaolin versus Wu-Tang and all that. I'm now locked in on Chinese Kung Fu movies.
Yep.
I'm locked in for the next 2 weeks until I watch 10 of them.
Nonstop. Some of the best shit ever.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. At 10 a.m. today, I put it on YouTube and I was like, yo, I swear you would have thought I was watching like The Matrix or like Kill Bill type shit where it was like I was into the action. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Like the fighting, I'm like, how does he do that in one take?
Right.
They're so nimble. How do they move like that? Yeah, it's
crazy.
Guys.
Shout out Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
I did. You reminded me when you said the Nets Cavs game. I am going to the Lakers.
Oh, you got a lot of games. Go ahead.
Yeah, Lakers Knicks on November 23rd, I think, at Madison Square Garden. So I'm excited for that. Thought I was gonna have to convince Mandy. Walked in the room, was like, "Hey, really want to go to this game?" And she was like, "Let's go. I really want to go to Madison Square Garden. I've only been outside of it." I was like, "Well, that was easier than I expected."
Yeah.
So I'm
feeling.
hyped. Get to see my Knicks. Get to see the King, Melo, Russ, AD. I'll be on TNT. So if anything crazy happens, I'll run on the court or something. Just kidding. I will not do that. But yeah, I'm hyped to be there, man. I miss the Garden. We were turning up for a preseason game, so I can't imagine what that game's gonna be like.
Love it, man. NBA, NHL, NFL, MLB, golf, fucking tennis, soccer, Champions League this week.
NASCAR.
You guys are locked on that. NASCAR. Everything's going on this week. Like this is it. This is next few weeks is
Formula One is in Texas this weekend. So that race will be on at 2:00 on Sunday for the people who don't like to wake up at 7 a.m.
Nice. And a reminder, Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia will be on Thursday, 12 p.m., which is random as fuck, but I'll be around to
live
watch
on the
that.
CAC.
Live on the CAC. So shout out to the wrestling people. So if you guys don't have anything else, I need to get to the Nets Bucks game. Don't react. Don't look. I know they're not winning, so that's kind of what I get from you guys and the one text.
That's your fault for opening up the group chat.
No, I mean I only see one text and it didn't say anything specific. I just knew they weren't doing as well. But hey, at the end of the day, we have Bucks.
Game
Sixers,
1 of 82, pal.
1 and then game 2 is Sixers. So it's like, hey, if you can split
81
the 2,
more
you're
games
good to
to
go.
turn it around. Don't worry.
Sure.
Yep.
All right. So now you're telling me more than I want to know. Shut up. It's not even halftime.
No. I was gonna get to how I said that about the Mets all year, and then we finally got to the point that we still sucked. So we never had the time to turn it around.
I love it. So episode 38 next week, we'll have a full crew, hopefully, because I know Gravy in November has a couple trips. So hopefully we can get in a full crew as much as we can. We'll be able to do a full NBA season kind of preview. We'll put our predictions in there.